you for joining. Hey. We gotta keep going, it only gets better. It might take a lifetime, but that's okay now. Hey. Hey. We gotta keep going, it only gets better. It might take a lifetime, but that's okay now. Hey. Hey. We gotta keep going, it only gets better. It may take a lifetime, but that's okay now. Hey. Hey. We gotta keep going, it only gets better. It might take a lifetime, but that's okay now. Hey. Good morning, and thank you for joining. Elemental beings, trying to save the people from the pain, misery, and the lessons not that hard. We be pulling all these scars while we healing all these scars. Hey. We gotta keep going, it only gets better. It might take a lifetime, but it's okay now. Hey. Good morning, and thank you for joining. Hey. We gotta keep going, it's okay now, it only gets better. Hey. Hey. We gotta keep going, it only gets better. It might take a lifetime, but that's okay now. Hey. Good morning, and thank you for joining. Hey. Good morning. It's time to wake up. Good morning. It's time to wake up. Get up. Hey, it's time to wake up. Good morning. And thank you for joining. It's time to wake up. Elemental beings. Elemental beings. Hey. And we be down by the riverside. Hey. Good morning. Good morning. And thank you for joining. Hey. We gotta keep going, it only gets better. It might take a lifetime, but that's okay now. Hey. Hey. We gotta keep going, it only gets better. It might take a lifetime, but that's okay now. Hey. Hey. You gotta keep going. Hey. Hey. You gotta keep going. Hey. Life is getting better. Hey. It's getting better and better. Hey. Life is getting better. Hey. Good morning. Good morning. And thank you for joining. Hey. We gotta keep going, it only gets better. It might take a lifetime, but that's okay now. Hey. Hey. We gotta keep going, it only gets better. It might take a lifetime, but that's okay now. Hey. Hey. We gotta keep going, it might take a lifetime, but that's okay now. Hey. Hey. Guess what? It only gets better. Hey, you ever felt like that? My life is getting better. Hey, it's getting better and better. Hey, hey, what they say, aging like fine wine. Hey, my life is getting better. Hey, better and better. going. Hey, it only gets better. Hey, it might not take a lifetime. Hey, but that's okay now. Hey, good morning. Good morning. And thank you for joining. Hey. Hey, and we do it for the Soul Tribe. Hey, Soul Tribe, yeah, we done it right. Hey, and we be down by the riverside. Dry your eyes, you don't have to cry. Hey, Soul Tribe, yeah, we jump alive. Hey, and we be down by the riverside. Hey, chit chatting with the water guys. Hey, we get advice from the Most High. Hey, and we be down by the riverside. Soul Tribe, it's gonna be alright. Hey, Soul Tribe, yeah, we jump alive. Hey, and we do it for our Soul Tribe. Hey, Soul Tribe, it's gonna be alright. Hey, Soul Tribe, you don't have to cry. Hey, we be down by the riverside. Hey, we get advice from the Most High.
Hey,
Good morning. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well and good energy, good spirits, okay? Attracting the life that you desire, okay? Because it's your birthright. We're coming through with another live message for you guys. Make sure you take the message, how it resonates in your life. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And don't forget, if you love the video, to share the video out, run the video up, and hit the thumb notification so that you are notified when we go live. Make sure you hit all, okay? Right? We are from Baltimore. Hey.
yes, Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, we from
All
Baltimore.
right.
Where you from, Alexis? Huh? Where you representing this morning?
Hey,
Hey, y'all.
praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
God bless everybody
Hey,
this morning.
Detroit.
Hey, Detroit.
Okay.
We was just listening to some Rio the other day.
Okay. I ain't got a lot of y'all. I'm going to speak the truth.
The old Rio. Call a drink plug, tell them I'm seeking Jews.
Okay.
Right? Set a goal you want to reach.
It's achievable.
Hey, no, but look, I want to say, y'all, we've been having, we've been having like this Black History celebration. We figured we would take advantage of the energy of Black History Month and just dive a little deeper. And as we dive a little deeper, I'm starting to see that things really were never as they seem. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's a lot that I want to talk about, but I'm not going to try to just cram it all in. So we're just going to give y'all like little bits of information that we got.
Okay.
Like, So,
Okay.
I pray that y'all doing well.
Where you guys at? Where you guys from? Good morning. We're a little late this morning. Better late than never, though, ain't it?
Oh, something that happened to me this morning. It was crazy, so I figured we'd talk about it. My wife came to me and was like, we're going to do 15 minutes worth of meditation. So automatically, it was something in me that was like, I ain't doing no 15 minutes worth of meditation. You might be doing. So I think she sensed it. So she came back and was like, all right, well, we're going to do 5 minutes worth of meditation. So I was like, all right, it's really not my process, and you know why I was like that though? It reminded me, as I went into meditation, it took me back to a point in my life that I kind of blocked out. Mm-hmm. My dad, when we were young, my aunt had a mishap, and my aunt had 2 sons, right? They were older than me. So my dad ended up taking on her 2 sons. So it was me, my 2 cousins, and my dad. And he was very spiritual. So he used to force us to meditate. Like when he would get off of work, right? It was crazy because my father would, this is how he was. He would he would just lay down the law and expect you to follow it. So he would be like, we gonna meditate, and when I go to work, y'all better meditate, and if y'all don't, I'ma figure y'all didn't, right? So you know what we would do? And mind you, my cousins, they were smoking cigarettes and all of that. Everything that we definitely wasn't supposed to be doing that.
Right.
So I remember when he would come in around like 4 p.m., we would settle down. He would be like, hey, meet me in the living room. And we would all had to sit around and meditate, right? And I hated it so much. I was only 9 years old. I used to hate it so bad. Like, I used to be like, yo, don't nobody. Like, and it would be crazy because we were supposed to have our eyes closed and we were supposed to be saying words like, you know, I'm mentally, or like whatever he said we had to say that day. But we would be having our eyes closed, and he would be locked in meditation, but we would be opening our eyes, playing a little game. So he would open his eyes and catch whoever was doing it, right? So I learned, we didn't like it. I didn't like when it was meditation time around my house, around the house. When I was with my dad, I used to be like, man, here you go again. Like, what do we gotta sit here for and do this for, right?
Little did you know.
Little did I know that, you know, and it brought me, it triggered, like what she did actually trigger something in me from my childhood, and I wasn't that aware of it. But what I also remember, because I held on to the negative, right? That's how trauma is. You hold on to just a negative memory, but once you dig into it, what I remember once I got into the meditation was I really liked it there. Even as a kid, when I was able to reach when I was obedient and I did meditate, I would be like, dang, that was a whole hour that went by. I was in my mind somewhere for a whole, and my dad, he kind of knew this, right? So he was essentially teaching me from the best part of himself, even though he showed me the worst part of himself a lot. He taught me that from the best part of himself. So I say, when you're digging into your childhood traumas, really sit with them, because everything about your trauma wasn't always bad all the time. Sometimes that was good. Some things that were good for us, they traumatize us as well, because we just build up a resilience against it. Imagine that thing that was healthy that your old heads told you to eat, but when you was young, you ain't want to eat it then, and you don't want to eat it now, because it's a certain amount of trauma. Like, you know, for instance, just say potatoes. Somebody, you might have experienced in your childhood a period where all you had to eat was potatoes.
Right.
So you might feel like, man, I don't want no potatoes, right? But actually, potatoes are good grounding food for you, you know, as opposed to everything else out here you can be eating. Potatoes are safe, right? But yeah, that was just it. Just, you know, if you dig into your traumas, dig into them with a balanced mind, right?
And you came out the meditation like, I actually enjoyed this. That was quick.
It went like that. It brought me right back to my childhood. Like, and then she was like, babe, put your back up. And I'm like, let me do my own, because I still felt like my dad again. You know what I'm saying? Like, my father used to be like, he'll smack us like, bow, is you saying, is you chanting in your mind, boy? Like, because he expected us to be in our mind, like, and there's only 3 people living that experienced this with my dad, me and my cousins, my older cousins. So I know, and they powerful too. They have a powerful spiritual set. Their mind is very powerful, right? And what my dad was actually doing was he was building strength inside of us that we didn't even know we was going to need.
Mindfulness.
Because if I wasn't doing that then, I wouldn't have been able to progress now. Because he was showing me things at an early age that I wasn't aware of, and I didn't really know what it was all about. And I made mockery of it. And I expressed, that's why I'm real big on expressing to my wife, kids do that. Because I remember doing it. Like, things, man, eating granola and honey. Yeah, around my dad's house, that was the snack. It wasn't, it was peanut butter, granola, and honey. So it was either you gonna eat that for what? No candy from down the store. I couldn't do what the other kids did. He was like, nah, you either gonna eat honey, granola, peanut butter. You want Brussels sprouts with the peanut butter? Like, literally.
He was training you up, though. It helped you.
Brussels sprouts on wheat bread with peanut butter. I mean, alfalfa sprouts. I'm sorry, not Brussels sprouts. Alfalfa sprouts.
It's like kind of like lettuce looking.
With peanut butter on wheat bread. That was a snack.
It looks like stringy lettuce almost.
And I hated it back then. But now, you know.
You bought some recent in remembrance. And was
Yeah,
just
I
eating
now,
it.
I got a memory of it, and it's good. It's actually healthy for you.
Yes, very.
Like he taught me a lot of things to ground myself physically that I didn't value them. But now, as we get older, I'm growing into them. Like my aunt actually told me, you growing into your dad every day, each day. I see you growing more and more into him, right? And as long as it's the best version of him.
That's right.
Because Slim tore it up out here too, like, you know.
Right.
All right, y'all. So with that being said, we're gonna
Good stuff.
jump into the Black History segment.
Okay.
Where we honor the Afro and Indigenous alike, right? Damn, way ahead of, yeah. You solid, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Good morning.
Glad you can read that.
Much respect to you.
Definitely, much respect. Much respect.
Okay. All right, so let's jump into it. So this morning I have Miss Elizabeth Freeman, also known as Mumbet. Okay. Mumbet. Okay. She actually, well, we'll talk about that later. So she was born in Claverick, Red Mills, New York. She transitioned December 28th of 1829. And she was actually one of the first slaves to file and win a freedom suit in Massachusetts. Her fight was very smart, you know, and if her fight was very smart. She used the law to become a free woman. Her fight was simply this, you know, if all people are born equal, then I don't deserve to be a slave. There was a law that was written in about 1773, and it stated something to the degree of resolved that mankind in a state of nature are equal, free, and independent of each other, and have a right to undisturbed enjoyment of their lives, their liberty, and their property. So when Mumbet went to court, she went against the state of Massachusetts. She actually won the lawsuit and she became a free woman, okay? It was very significant, you know, her name became Elizabeth Freeman, and it was very significant. You know, names are very important. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe this is something that Spirit is wanting me to say. You know, maybe you're the next generation that are having children. Maybe you are, you know, influencing the generation that's having children. But just know that names are very, very important. Yeah. You know, a lot of names that even in the Bible, you know, when a lot of people went into covenants with God, they changed their names, right? So names are very significant and important. And when enslaved people became free, they would choose surnames such as Freeman, right, Self, or Liberty, right? How powerful is that to, you know, fight for your freedom and then become Sarah Freeman, right? Because you were able to choose a name that was liberating, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I love that. Now, Elizabeth's famous quote, okay? Anytime while I was a slave, if 1 minute freedom had been offered to me and I had been told I must die at the end of that minute, I would have taken it. Just to stand 1 minute on God's earth, a free woman, I would. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, Elizabeth is a woman who had a faith in a higher power. She also, had class and dignity. She took the proper route. She went the legal route, and she used what was written because, you know, it has been written, right? She used what was written to gain her freedom. You know, she was a slave at the Ashley House. So, you know, it was a time where the Revolutionary War was going on and, you know, how all that stuff was going down. So, Elizabeth Freeman, known as Mumbet, we give you honor on this channel.
Definitely. Honor to Mother Mumbet, Sister Elizabeth Freeman. And the one thing that I admire about her is the fact that she shows a side of history that they don't show us, and they never will, and they have never aspired to show us that side of history. Like, they separate, they separate indigenous history from African history. So you got 2 points. You ever notice how they never merged them in school? They never taught you about, well, who was the people that merged when the indigenous and the African people came together? What happened? The spirit of rebellion was born.
Okay.
Like, and this is where you have people like her that came they teach us that we went into slavery and then we became passive and then we became subjected. That's as far from the truth as it can get. When they forced slavery on us, we went to war.
Yeah, because
the only way we could, and the way that we didn't go to war with material, the guns and things that they had that. We went to war spiritually and mentally, right? And the beautiful thing about sisters like her is they were instruments of warfare that did damage that didn't show up right away.
Okay.
Right? See, that's the warfare. The revolution, when they say it will not be televised, that's what they mean. It's about the damage that's done that doesn't show up right away. It's like she fought the beast back, right? Which was the system.
Yeah, because the Revolutionary War, wouldn't have been won without African American and Native Americans.
Known as the 5th Regiment,
Right.
right? Yeah, that's American history. The 5th Regiment, the movie Glory. They got a movie about it called Glory. Got a few movies about it.
She was all of this was going on around that time. So, yep.
But yeah, I just appreciate her spirit and soul, like the soul of Nat Turner and others like her. They blot their stories out in Jabari Mansa. They blot their stories out of history because what they do is they show the persona of a true fighter, not the persona of a submissive weakling that was just up against a system that was so big that we was overwhelmed. That wasn't the case. Like, we fought. All right. Now, my Black history person is Clarence 13X. Powerful brother. There's a little history around it, so I'm going to go into it. He was born February the 22nd in 1928, and he transitioned on June 13th, 1969. So, Clarence 13X was born in Virginia, a Virginia native. And somewhere along the line, he left Virginia, and he ended up in New York City. He was called to duty, so he went away for duty. And when he returned back from duty, I believe it was 1963, his wife had joined a religious faction known as the NOI, the Nation of Islam. His wife joined him. So he decided to follow his wife. You follow divinity. So he joined. So when he got into, at that time, the leader or the Grand Minister of the Nation of Islam was one Fard Muhammad. Now, Fard Muhammad he had the identity of a Caucasian male, right? They say he had black in him, but it wasn't evident in his appearance. Like, he appeared to be solely white. So, of course, Clarence 13X, being a black man, he began to have problems with the way that they taught. Like, Fard Muhammad would teach that God is outside of man, Allah, and that he was his messenger. So Clarence 13X decided, well, I can't see you as man. I feel like that's a role that only an original black man can occupy. So he left, right? I tend to believe it was because it was issues. I mean, normally you can't go where your wife is leading you. It's like trying to go into, a queendom and become a king, so to speak. I think it was a little claustrophobic for him in the nation, a little crouchy in that. So he took his knowledge and wisdom and he left, and he founded the Nation of the Gods and the Earths. He got a center in 1967. He opened the Urban League Street Academy, which a lot of the 5%ers, that's what they known as the 5%ers. He was the father of the 5%ers, right? And he started this nation and this movement, and he began to refine the spirit and the soul of a lot of black youth throughout the streets of New York and Harlem alike. And this academy now known as the Allah School in Mecca, it became like a central networking system for the development of the black youth in the community. Um, Also, during the assassination of Martin Luther King, he was a pivotal figure in like keeping everything from becoming out of hand, so to speak. He was teaching people how to use different forms of expression because it was a sad time when Martin Luther King got assassinated. A lot of people, it was probably a tendency for violence, I imagine, but nevertheless, they had the school in Mecca, and he had open arms. And the irony in that is that he was actually assassinated in the Martin Luther King Towers on July 13th, 1969. Now, the impressive thing about Clarence 13X is the fact that the reformation of black male character at the time, it was needed because we were suffering from segregation and self-esteem issues, not to mention drug addiction, right? And a lot of this was introduced to us because the predecessors had drug problems. Like Huey Newton and all of those boys, they all had different entanglements with narcotics. So although the revolutionary spirit was being passed down, it was being passed down even in the form of addiction. Heroin addiction at an all-time high at that time. So Clarence 13X, he had his addictions too, but what he tapped into and what he offered was something that could grow and generate people that had, a fundamental truth to go with. It's like you had something to go on. You had a place where you can say, okay, I can learn who I am. It was teaching people knowledge of themselves, in a sense. And he went through his trials. He was shot in 1964, and then he established a school after that. So that shows persistency. That right there is honorable within itself. Because a lot of people, once they get shot in any form, they ready to leave, whatever it was. They want to find something else to do that's safe. Yeah. He didn't do that. He endured that, and then he opened up the school, and then again, he was assassinated on the next attempt in 1969. So he gave his life for what he believed in. And that song you was just saying, when you was like, it might take a lifetime. And so we honor the brother, Clarence 13X, today on his channel, just for his efforts in the black community, what he did for the state of the black conscious. Like, he raised that elevation. He raised the frequency. And last but not least, the consciousness behind this brother, and this is spiritual, is responsible for shaping one of the biggest groups in hip-hop history, Wu-Tang Clan. Like, if you ever go back and listen to old Wu-Tang albums, they spoke in what's known as supreme mathematics, right? So they take, and I studied this too, like in the 1 to 10, it teaches you like what the letters of the alphabet mean, so you can speak in codes. Like, you ever heard Method Man might say, God you now. Speaking in that code, well, that was spawned by the mind of 13X. Like, without his knowledge, they don't have that knowledge. Essentially, they don't become who they are if he didn't become who he was. And if not for nothing else, his conscience led to a very revolutionary time in hip hop, because Wu-Tang Clan, things haven't been the same since they came. They was the first group to open up major deals. Like, inside,
they have a lot of fans. Like, they
really made a major but their conscious, when you think about what was their spiritual authority that they moved in the authority that he left. Like, you ever hear, they speak about God Allah, Rakim Allah, and I said Rakim, Raekwon and Chef, and they speak, a lot of 5% dialect, right? So but that comes from the mind of a man that took lessons from the Nation of Islam and broke them down and gave them his spin of originality. He was a very creative brother, right? And that's why we inspire people to embrace the creative aspect of your mind, because look, who's to say whether he was right or wrong? But we can say, because of the state of his mind, it produced the mind of 9 members of Wu-Tang that effectively took the hip hop and opened it up in such a way where it it became the independent juggernaut that it is. Because before them, you pretty much was gonna get what was on the table, and that was just it. After them,
they have a
they had
large,
they got a large
very large
following.
fan base.
Absolutely,
yes.
absolutely.
Like, I remember we were somewhere and it was like everywhere you can always find like a Wu-Tang sign in somebody's yard.
Yeah, we was in the community. Me and my wife, we was in this honky tonk town.
Really?
Y'all. It was like. No, I ain't even gonna say that because it wasn't that. It was like an upscale community. It wasn't a honky tonk town. It was a community that was so upscale. The last thing you think you're gonna see on somebody's lawn is a Wu-Tang Clan sign. It said, "Beep your horn for Wu-Tang." It said Wu-Tang forever.
Wu-Tang
I was
forever.
like, word.
That's what it said. And it was somebody else had one that said, "Beep your horn for Wu-Tang," because we seen two of them.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. Beep your horn if you're a Wu-Tang fan. And we had actually put some Wu-Tang on the Bluetooth.
You remember that?
You
remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, but shout out to brother Clarence 13X of Harlem.
All right, good stuff, good stuff. All right, y'all, so let's get into a message. So before we get into a message, I just want to bring a little bit of information. So February 17th, okay? We go into the year of the horse, okay? Lasting until February 5th of 2027. You know, the horse symbolizes stamina, energy, you know, forward motion. You know, the horse is passion and speed, you know, major transformation. So you could be feeling yourself working very hard, or you could be feeling like things, you know, there's a lot of work to be done. It is, okay? There's a lot of work to be done. You could be feeling very energetic right now. Leading up to this energy, I feel like going into this energy also, you know, you could be finding yourself feeling very bold, very ambitious, just that energy of just wanting to move forward, that energy of wanting to do better, okay? Right now is a time leading up into this energy, is a time to focus on taking healthy risk, moving forward, you know, and making fast but intelligent decisions, right? You know, not allowing things to linger around and hold you up. Okay. Number 7 could be significant. It is the 7th animal in the Chinese zodiac. Okay. Also, meditation and breath work, being in nature, is going to be very important for you in the year of the horse. You know, think about a horse. A horse has a lot of stamina. You have to have a lot of land to own a horse because they need to be able to run, right? It's fire energy. It's passion energy. So exercise and regular movement, physical exertion, okay? Pushing yourself, you know, to whatever your max is, you know, creating new goals with your physical exercise and routines, you know, your mindfulness, taking a few minutes to just, even if you only have 2, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is, to just really tap in, because you're going to have a lot of energy coming towards you, and it's a lot of great energy to embrace with the year of the horse. So just be ready, okay? Breathing, you know, breath work is so important as we, you know, begin to get ready, you know, go into a new season, which is coming in, you know, with the seasons changing. Breath work is very important, especially if you're a person that has like any allergies or things like that. I feel like opening up our our airways, our passageways really helps. Now, last but not least, with this horse energy, this is a year where you really want to keep your environment clean and clutter-free, okay? With you having all of this energy and this passion, it's best to go ahead and get tasks done or clean as you go or whatever you need to do to keep your environment clean and decluttered, because you're going to have a lot of energy around you and it can make you feel frustrated if you don't, okay? So the year of the horse, right? Regular movement, you know, I told you guys I listened to a 98-year-old woman the other day, and you know, one of the keys that she gave is if she could do something different when she was in her 30s, it would be a small walk every day. She didn't say a long walk, but a small walk. Get yourself moving, you know. A lot of times when we're in this season, you know, with the cold and this kind of weather, you know, you don't feel like really moving, but I encourage someone to get up and move maybe today, you know, start with little steps. It can be in the house or whatever it is. But as we lead up to the 17th, it's going to be imperative for you to be able to move and allow this energy to flow, because you don't want to have a passion, a ball of energy, and you're just sitting with it, right? It's gonna explode. So be ready. A lot of energetic energy, hard work. You could be feeling very independent. You could be, coming up with a lot of things on your own, So focus on taking healthy risks. Number 7.
Number 7.
Yep.
Wow, I got 2 7s out here, don't
Wow. Wow.
Number 7, 777. You can be saying that. That could be significant. It's definitely 3 7s on the board.
Okay.
She got 1, I got 2.
Okay.
And speaking about the energy of the horse, right? I want to say something that it rung in my intuition. Horses do buck against resistance.
Come on.
Like, one thing about a horse, that's not the type of animal that you want to be by when that animal feels threatened or something that's causing a certain type of resistance. The horse is going to buck. And when it bucks, I actually seen a horse like buck against, it was a ground predator. I think it might have been a crocodile. But the horse actually came up and bucked back and crushed it with one buck. So just know the horse bucks against resistance. Because what I really feel like, what my wife was saying and what I got in this 3-card spread, is I feel like you don't want to be in a position where you like, imagine having a horse in your living room.
Right.
The area is too big. The horses, you're going to buck out of that because you can't be boxed in that small environment, right? Nope. So I wrote something else before I jump into the spread. People coming towards you, they have to have something to offer you, right? I'm just speaking to the collective that's connected to us. Be mindful. Like, people that come towards you, they have to have something. Like, because God is not going to send you somebody that has nothing to offer you, right? Now, what the person is offering you, make sure you're not overlooking certain things, because sometimes people come with things that offer you that you may not be comprehending at the beginning. But just know, like, if you with somebody and you feel like you giving everything, like on every level, I'm talking about spiritual, natural, that's chances are that's not the person for you. Because the person that God is going to send towards you that's for you, or people that's for you, they not going to have nothing to offer you.
They add to your life.
Right, but don't overlook it, because sometimes you settling for a person that's offering you nothing, but looking like they offering you everything. Okay, thank you, Spirit. It's not about money, y'all, because that's the quickest way for somebody to offer you nothing. Think about it. If I got foul intentions, and I'm going to speak about it, if I got foul intentions and I'm coming towards you, say I got an infected mind, maybe got an infected body, right? Some sort of disease that I can't get rid of, right? And I'm using me as a form of expression. But if a person is moving towards you like that, no matter what they giving or showing, they offering you nothing. Because in the end, right? Imagine somebody coming towards you and they know that they have a disease that they can't get rid of, right? And you feel that they pulling towards intimacy. So imagine what happens if you give in. What do you end up with? Nothing. In the long run, because you could end up contracting something that's going to take everything away from you. So in the end, it leaves you with nothing. So make sure when people coming towards you, they got something to offer you. One of the biggest things is a clean bill of health.
Okay.
Make sure that they offer you that at least. It's because it's not worth it, bro or sis. That little compromise ain't worth it. Like, that person coming towards you with them shiny type of things, look, wise counsel fell out.
Wise counsel.
It just ain't worth it, right? Make sure you know the most valuable thing. Okay, Spirit said, make it plain. The most valuable thing somebody can have coming towards you, offering you, is their health. Right?
For real.
So, and
we take those little walks in the park, for granted. When you can walk with your partner, when you can move, you can exercise, you can just get in the car. Those things are valuable. You know, some people are not healthy enough to get out, to move, to do things.
Right. You know, and like, it's just this money issue. Like, people so swayed by, it's like people associate godliness with money and materialism. Even in the church, it's like if you show up in the church
with the biggest donation,
fresh with the donation, with the material, oh, you holy and godly, right? Yo, it's way beyond that, right? All you gotta do is look a little deeper, right? Another thing that somebody should have to offer you that's good, that has nothing to do with money. Guess what that is? Pure intention. If you come towards me, I don't care what you giving me. If your intentions is wrong, I'm gonna end up with nothing. Mm-hmm. Right or wrong. Right. Like if you coming towards me and you got bad intentions towards me, mm-hmm. but you giving me money.
Yep, that ain't enough.
Because we overlook so much for somebody that's giving us money. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, look, 7 of Swords to the 7 of Cups to the Magician. You got somebody out here and you being a magician, 7 of Cups to the Magician. Speaking of your abilities, your ability to go in your bag and come up with it. But it's an energy out here that want to take that from you. 7 of Swords. Somebody want to take something from somebody, or somebody want to trap somebody down and keep them in a box that's too small for them to be in, right? 7 of Swords to the 7 of Cups. Somebody after coming after you, even your thought process, what you thinking about, right? You ever felt like that? Mm-hmm. Like you ain't even got a minute to think for yourself. Mm-hmm. Like even your kids, right? I'm gonna say it. Even your children. Like sometimes you gotta put up walls. You gotta know that boundaries, even for your children. Cause sometimes children, I was ready to say chilling. Chillings, right? They allow themselves to succumb to a jealous-hearted spirit and don't even realize it, right? Because kids are always made up of 2 DNAs, right? Mm-hmm. Mommy and daddy. So what happens when mommy and daddy had conflict? You have a child that has a conflicted DNA. So what happens is, mommy don't like daddy, then daddy show up in a boy. Or daddy don't like mommy, mommy show up in a girl, right? Then you have conflict. So you gotta know how to put boundaries up, even still. You can't let your kids 7 of Swords or 7 of Cups. You need time to think. Like, it's not about saying, it's not about saying yes. It's about, are you creating an environment where they earning a yes? Are the kids earning yes? Or are you just giving yes? Because sometimes the kid really earn a no, but we give them a yes anyway. Mm-hmm. But through their actions, they really earning a no, a solid no.
Been there.
But we be like, all right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, when you do that, you enabling them. Mm-hmm. Because they start really feeling like, well, I can cause dissension and get what I want. Mm-hmm. I can talk crazy and things still gonna happen. So train them up with a balance. Don't allow your kids to steal your peace from you. Another word, they're your kids. Yeah. For real. Like you still have a life to live. You still have a duty to uphold. So you got to put up boundaries, right? And God forbid, people, you the one with the ability, the magician. And, people, they going to come for that. Mm-hmm. So it's just, it's just what it is. Mm-hmm.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4 with connection. Okay. I got gratitude and I have wise counsel. I love this energy. I ain't gonna lie. When my husband was talking, wise counsel fell out. Seek guidance from a trusted friend or mentors to help you along the way. Now we do got personal readings available, okay?
Indeed.
Right?
And they do help a lot.
They do, right? So if you guys have not booked a personal reading with us, you may want to. But wise counsel, right? Even if it's not us, seek guidance from a trusted friend or a mentor to help you along the way. A lot of us, when we went on this journey, we lost a lot of people, right? When you go on your spiritual journey, everybody can't go. So you don't have a lot of people to connect to. So it's very important to tap into the wise counsel that you do have or you are connected to, because you need that, the teacher needs a teacher, right? Because you guys are teachers as well, but sometimes you have to tap into another source, another information source, something like that. I feel like there is a very strong here connection between, the collective and divinity, because of gratitude. I don't know if you have been just trying to be more thankful lately, because I know at one time I was a very selfish person. Me, okay? I was a person that would get things and I would always be like, well, why couldn't I get a little bit more? Or why couldn't I get this plus that or something like that, right? But I learned that, gratitude for what I do have, it allows me to even get more. And I learned that some of the things that I was lusting after, I didn't even need. They didn't matter, right? So, yeah, because, we lust over things too, not just sex, right? We lust over items, people, whatever, right? So gratitude, I feel like right now, connection, personal growth, oneness, manifesting goals, connection, and completion. You could be learning that, it doesn't take things outside of you to feel complete. Okay? I feel like with the year of the horse, it's very important. There's a lot of passion around us. So planning, writing down your goals, watching your growth and development, counting your wins, not always your loss, right? Those kind of things help you grow. It says first, focus on the positive changes. Focus on the positive changes occurring due to your efforts. Then expand your horizons and permit yourself to try something new. So many positive shifts are in store for you. The world around you is changing in your favor of your intentions. Okay? So I feel like, things are changing because of your intentions, your connection, your willingness to show gratitude, your willingness to know that we're not always right, to know that there's always something else to learn. Me and my husband were talking to a lady in her 80s, and she told us at 80 something years old that,
more to learn.
There's still more to learn, right? And this could be you. You could be a person that maybe, you had a mindset that, you knew everything, or I thought I did, right? And you're learning that, this thing is a process. Gratitude. There will always be something to be grateful for, even in the darkest situations. Now is the time to recognize what is going well in your life and what you are thankful for. So I don't know, maybe, I was looking at something the other day, and, maybe getting up in the morning, and writing 3 things that you're thankful for, right? That can really help you. That's a healthy pattern. If you get up every morning and you constantly write down 3 things that you are grateful for, it kind of allows you to start your day in a positive way. See, we have to be the conductor of our own lives, right?
That's motion.
Right. So when we conduct ourselves to do things like this, we don't realize it's putting us in alignment with our purpose.
That's motion. Okay. Definitely.
Stamina, the horse, action.
That's a good way to gain a positive momentum.
Yeah.
You ever felt your life slipping out of control? Yes. And when your life's slipping out of control and you feel like praying is useless because you can't pray because you in a den of iniquity. You ever felt like, what, prayer ain't gonna do me no good? I'm all the way in now. Sometimes when you get like that, it's the devil's way of convincing you of certain things, right? So, like my wife said, if you learn how to do little things when you get up in the morning, you can do something simple as wake up and write down, I will have a good day today, right?
So that's the intention.
It's called the proclamation. When you write that thing down, you write it in paper and you write it in your heart. You know how Jesus wrote on the land and in the metaphysical at the same time? That was ill in the Bible when he wrote in the dirt, but he was writing in the spirit, but wrote in the dirt. And then when he got up, all the demons fled. I was like, whoa, that's crazy, right? But yeah, that type of energy, like, make your proclamation when you wake up if you want to change things around. Things change subtly, right? It's important that we grasp hold of that and realize change doesn't show up immediately. Not powerful change. Powerful change begin before you see it.
Yeah.
It already was happening. Before it showed up, it was already happening. That's the type of motion that we want to establish as wise people. Like, for instance, yeah, my life may be out of control. Somebody, I might feel like I don't have control of my life. That's a trick. Because to establish control, you switch your motion. You do that quiet. Even if it's writing an affirmation, this month I force myself to spend 5 minutes thinking about something different, then I'm going to move out. It might not feel like there's nothing getting done, but I'm telling you it is. Because things that happen are invisible in the spirit realm, and your intention is everything.
That's right. And smaller habits are easier to manage, right? So if you're like, okay, well, I'm going to exercise for 1 hour every day, right? But you haven't exercised since 2003.
You set the bar too high.
You set the bar too high. So why not say, you know what? I'm going to focus on 5 minutes of exercise for 3 days, right? If I can do 5 minutes for 3 days consistently, okay, the next week maybe I can do 5 days, 5 days for 5 minutes, right? And you keep doing little small increments, and that's how you make major wins in life, right?
That's right. It's like understanding your threshold, like my wife's saying, basically, in so many words, you don't want to put too much on yourself, and that's going to snuff you out before you begin. Like, take yourself to a point of a little resistance. Like, even if it's, well, I don't want to pray, I don't feel like, or everything in you, when your spirit vexed, your mind tell you not to pray. If you ever want to know when you're out of alignment, when you feel like praying is not the thing to do, or your body get a certain way when it's time to pray, I've been there, so I know what I'm talking about. Just push yourself for 60 seconds of prayer on your knees. I don't want, because you be in your body, I don't feel like getting down on my knees. But get down on that, because what you're doing is you forcing motion. And this is how change happens, subtly.
No, real. If you're eating 5 cakes a week, right? Okay, well, let me get down to 4 cakes a week, 3 cakes a week,
Right.
1 cake a week. And then you become so strong that you learn that you don't even need the cake, because, I was listening to some literature, and it was speaking about, how a lot of times we want things, but it's instant gratification. If you want something, right, to truly know if you really want it, wait about 5 to 10 minutes, and your mind literally could change, right? A lot of times we do things out of habit, out of just instant gratification.
Eating, especially
right?
big. That sounds like
So
eating. It sounds like you're describing.
It could be
like,
smoking, it could be drinking, it could be lusting, it could be whatever it is, right? But yeah, heavy on the eating.
And even with lust, when you were talking about lust, I was thinking about another trick that the enemy plays on us in the matter of lust. When we say lust, we think sexual. But the truth is, it's far more lust outside of sexualism than it is. That's a little part of what the spirit of lust is.
That's real.
That's how, but when you, because the enemy is real tricky. And I'm talking about the enemy within.
Yeah.
Like when you say lust, we think, oh, I ain't watching pornography. I ain't out here laying down with everybody. That mean I ain't lustful. You could still be dealing with the spirit of lust and be doing none of those things. Because that doesn't define the spirit of lust. The things those are acts of the flesh. Lust is a spiritual thing. All right, so got the King of Wands in reverse to the Nine of Cups in reverse to the Six of Wands. And I love it because somebody you're resisting somebody that's not good for you, which is good. This King of Wands in reverse, definitely a masculine energy, could be an Aries, and they not good for you. I heard sick dick.
I got that.
I don't know why. So what I'm saying is, and the Nine of Cups in reverse is you resisting the urge to go back into what you thought was once your wish fulfillment. So most likely, you know how guys do. I've done it before. They lose you, and then they want to convince you, let's go back. I want that old thing back. Let's go back to the way things were. They want you to go back to the way things were, but you're in a mode of resistance because maybe you do understand what you didn't. And that is, That was never your wish fulfillment. Now the King of Wands in reverse. I mean, and masculine or feminine, we spend time with the wrong one. So the objective is to learn a lesson. Have you learned yet? Have you learned yet? Because the King of Wands, the archetype of the King of Wands is a person, they're going to bust you down. They're going to definitely bust you down, right? And they're going to leave you with a fleshly craving. So when you get away from the King of Wands and you're trying to move on, that's the aim they're going to come. They're going to come for you in that same area, trying to convince you that good sex was your wish fulfillment. So, less that's the case, once you realize that that's not the case, that's maturity. Because if you're in a place where the number one memory that you have of a person is when y'all was laying down doing that, I'm telling you, them memories, they don't hold a lot of substance. Chances are that was karmic. Because it's more to a relationship than just that. Meaning, if you moved on from somebody and they trying to get you back and they talking about, remember what we used to do? But all y'all used to do was cut. That's it. Is that what you want to go back to? And Six of Wands, the fact that you resisting this energy, you being held in high honors. This is even you thinking more of yourself, which is beautiful. I feel like the Six of Wands is personal. Here you have a person, you think way more of yourself than you used to.
Okay.
You're not willing to go back because at one point in time, you gotta think how crazy we all were. Imagine somebody out laying down with other people, and because you lonely, you go let them come back in, or you go meet up with them, right? No, this is you thinking back to that time now, like, man, I would never do that again. Them days is over, right? And I like that for you.
Okay.
Self-respect, Six of Wands.
Good stuff. I got 0220 with pleasure. Okay. Leisure, rest, holiday, pleasure, love, affection, and kindness, happiness. You are worthy of affection and leisure and pleasure. If you tell your family and friends how you feel, they'll find that you are on the same page and you guys can work together effectively. Many people are rooting for you. If you spread love, it will find its way back to you multiplied. So I don't know if you've been feeling like the world is against you. I feel like you're wrong. People actually really rock with you. You know, something about you and your kindness. You could be a very happy person. You could smile a lot. You could show a lot of love. You could just be a very pleasant spirit. You know, those spirits are just uplifting. Like, you ever met a person and you just can't forget them because they just, you know, the spirit was so uplifting. I'm not talking about the way they looked. I'm talking about the way they made you feel. Like, you know, their spirit was just uplifting. You know, this could be you right here. We got potential, and I also have embrace, I have potential, and I have harmony's call. Embrace equality and pursue justice. Keep an open mind as answers unveil your path to balance. I feel like there's something being fair and justice about to happen to you in your life or something like that. I feel like, you know, you could have been feeling like an outcast, an outsider for a very long time. But, you know, it's okay to be weird now. You know, weird is cool now, right? Is what they say. So, you know, you're weird at one time is now people are looking like very intrigued by you, you know, something like that. Potential. You have way more potential than you realize. Don't put limits on yourself. I feel like that's very important. In the energy of the horse, you know, the year of the horse.
Take the limits off.
You cannot put limits on yourself. You know, like, it is very important that you know, allow yourself to be outside of the box. You allow yourself to tap into your creativity. It says tap into your potential, and you'll realize that you can do the impossible things and create a wonderful life. You know, I always like to say we don't even know what we're truly capable of because we don't know. You know, there's limits to what we know, right?
Yeah.
I feel like right now is a very good time to, You know, really put all of your effort into things because you have potential to really take off in a situation, an area in your life, a relationship, a business, a mindset, whatever it is. You know, I feel like you're being called to a thing here. It's very wise for you to pay attention to this message. You know, living a life like this, it brings in pleasure. Pleasure's here. 0220. Your birthday could be February 20th. Happy birthday. Okay. 22 could be significant. You could be born on the 22nd day of the month. Okay. Number 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. I don't know.
You know,
420. April 20th could be significant.
I'm actually sitting here, right?
Somebody could be smoking.
I'm actually sitting here and I'm not really thinking. Like I always tell my wife, when the intuit start rolling in,
They just come.
I stop thinking. Like I put my mind in a place where I'm not really thinking, but it's things that's just filtering through my thoughts, right? And I heard Farrakhan say, Minister Louis Farrakhan said, we are watching the collapse of America as predicted by the Most High, right? And I was laughing because I was having that thought. And I was like, you know, what's collapsing around the world? And I see it now. And it's odd. Now, see, we was born in a world that told us a story. That story had a beginning point and that story had an end. But most importantly, the stories that we were fed, they had a beginning. And now we living in a world where people starting to say, oh, the beginning of that story was just a part in the story. It's a bigger story, right? That's the time we live in, and that's what is collapsing. And so what's collapsing the system is the memory. You understand? See, if we remember the fact that the story that they programmed us with, that's a story that fits in a bigger story. Now you're remembering something. That's what's causing all of this to happen around the world. But it's predicted.
We're here to remember.
To remember. That's it. You just remembering. If you want to know what's going on with you, your mind is remembering.
Your Akashic records are opening.
Yeah.
Being loaded and filled up.
You got the Fool to the Knight of Cups to the Five of Cups. Water sign energy. And I feel like this Fool's energy, of course, is some sort of risk that you took. It could be involving the way you moving in life towards what you deem to be success, or this could just be you venturing out of the normal and making a move. Obviously, whatever you did in this Fool's energy, it benefited you because you showing up them forth in the Knight of Cups to the Five of Cups. And the only regret that I can see is that you had to leave people behind. And maybe you drink about it, you know. Somebody out here, you drink a little bit, you know, Five of Cups. I'm not a judge. I'm just saying what I see. Somebody in the mode of being regretful and drinking about it. And I just want to say if you made a move in your life and you came out of it in a position where you could still spread love, you still can move in the energy of love, no matter what you went through, you made the right decision. Because all the evil in this world wants to do is strip you of your love, strip you of your life, strip you of your faith. So if you go through things when you make your decisions in life and they bring you love and restoration, Knight of Cups, don't regret them in the Five of Cups. You're going to have people that push back. It's because sometimes, you know, people, they see you do what they didn't have the heart to do in their life. And they resent you about it. As odd as it may seem. Because, see, some people rather live in a story that they was told. They want to be in the old paradigm. They want to be in the program that doesn't change. They don't want to come out of the matrix. So those kind of people that live like that, when you come out the matrix and things start looking up for you, they just be mad because their life is stuck in the matrix and they can't come out of it. So don't allow that energy to make you regret That's projection. You know, you sitting around, God, the Most High, is looking out for you, gave you love back. You lost a few people. Now you want to drink about it because they gone. Why? Right? I'm not saying don't drink, but don't drink. I'm not saying don't do whatever you do because I'm not God. But I can advise you, don't drink the drink of regret. Don't drink that elixir. That's not a good elixir. When you drink regret, somebody, you could literally be drunk on the regret. You know, you look at the things you have, the people you left, some of them were close to you. Even if it's your mind. This ain't all about money. Maybe your thoughts are way more coherent now. You stronger now. You make way more sense than you used to. Somebody resents you about that. You know, it's always going to be a pocket for resentment, but we don't want to drink from the drink of regret. We don't want to get drunk on regret. Things happen. The most important thing for you to realize is that God moved you from A to B, not to have survivor's guilt or regret or none of that. It's obviously to move forward. Just think about it. If God moved you from A to B, it's to move forward. Because if that was the end of your story, he'd have just left you at B. You know, God don't give restoration to nothing for nothing, you know. So if you had to leave some people behind, maybe they were a part of the version of you that led to destruction. Maybe they were a part of the version of you that didn't end your story. See what I'm saying, how life works? That's why you can't think you know people or you know, because you could just meet a person that's living in that era of their story. You catch them 5 years from now, they could be on the mountaintop or in the valley low, either way. But we got to learn how to understand that life is full of tops and turns. Like, it's many different events, and you got to make your election sure. Like, and when you get it and God give it to you, don't hold regret about it. And don't let people project it onto you. You should take what God has given you and do something for me. If you choose to, but not out of a sense that you obligated to do so. Because what if God take away what you given away just because you didn't respect it? You got to respect the things of divinity. Like, for real. Like, that's why the Bible says something simple as don't cast your pearls before swine. Why? Because God might take your pearls from you. You throwing your pearls down there with the swine, God might say, oh, you don't need them anyway. You ain't going to, let me give them back now. If you ain't going to use them correctly. Same way. Honor the things that God gave you. They above the ways of men. It don't care. That's what I learned. It don't care what men gonna say things. They always gonna have something to say. All the time. Turn into a higher frequency where the opinion of others don't matter. Real. It's a frequency. You could tap right into it where you don't have to drink from regret or survivor's guilt or projection or none of that. You can just exist, right? With all your faculties in check. All you got to do is change the way you're perceiving things and stop allowing people outside of you to make you feel certain type of ways. Tap into a greater source. And if you can't reach no other frequency, grab hold of gratitude. That'll spin you around real good. Show gratitude for God. Forget who ain't got what, who feel that way, and all that. God is. That's just advice from an old wise head. God is. Oh, you doing something? Yeah, God in there. God is. Whatever you got to say about me, God is. Use it. It works. Because people will force projection onto you. And it's a nasty energy. Have you doubting yourself? Regretting that they doing bad after they made decisions that caught up with them. Ain't projection a real tricky? And you wake up feeling bad because somebody who wished doom upon you sent destruction your way, maybe spell work. They did all this to you, but God brought you out. And God gave them what they sent to you because that's what they deserve. And so why should you sit somewhere feeling bad because they getting what God paid them? They getting a paycheck. They earned that. But we be looking at life wrong, right? We should be rejoicing, not worried if it's about, projection is crazy. People have you over here drinking, worried about you missing, you got memories and missing times, and you doing reminiscence over things that was truly meant to destroy you. And then you regret the fact that you can't save it. Wow, that's crazy. Like, nah, collective. Don't do that.
Okay. I like this energy over here. I see detached, and it wasn't a part of the spread, but I felt like it was necessary with these cards that I have here. So detach, okay? I feel like a lot of us had to detach from things, and I was speaking about that earlier, So now we're in the phase of like, okay, Lord, where's my new friends? Where's my new people that resonate with me? Something about success here, knowledge, optimism, freedom. We got 0550. Your birthday could be May 5th. Okay. You could be a Taurus in the energy. We got number 10, completion. There's something complete here, okay? You could have gone through some kind of cycle because it says breakthrough. Okay, something about your skills and talents. I feel like your skills and talents are, why the breakthrough is here. Okay, something about that. I feel like there's a chance for reconciliation with self. You said?
No, I was saying you heard.
Okay. So your skills and talents are very important right now. Remember, I told you we are in the year of the horse. Okay, skills and talent. You have a lot of passion, right? So you could be feeling a lot of your sacral energy, your sexual energy. It's very important to protect your sacral energy this year, okay? A lot of times when you feel these urges, it's passion, it's fire, it's time to get creative, okay? It's time to stop wasting our sacral energy and use it to create. It's a beautiful thing when it's used properly for sex, but it's also a beautiful thing when your sacral energy is used for your skills and your talents and your passion, okay? So it says, when chances present themselves, seize them and do something out of the ordinary. Whether in your life, personal or professional, you will find success by welcoming creative impulses and having faith in your own abilities. Trust in chance and take healthy risk on opportunities that could change your life for the better. There's something about your skills and talents. There was a very wise man that said something to, we were at church one day, and there was a very wise pastor that said, one of the most, what did he say, babe? The graveyard is a place where there's a whole bunch of gifts and talents that never got to be used, right? So I feel like something about your breakthrough, Spirit is saying, God is saying, use your talents and your skills. That is the breakthrough that you've been looking for, that you've been praying over. Because someone's like, when is my breakthrough coming? Okay? I feel like it's already here. You could be in the energy of meeting new people. Be open. Make sure you're smiling. Like if you want new friends, if you want to interact with like-minded people like us, we go around and we smile. When we see people frowning, we're going to try to give you a word, right? But it's more welcoming if you're looking for people that have the same vibration as you. You might want to go around with a smile on your face. You might want to go around and, offer assistance and aid, a kind word, whatever it may be, right? So, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of good relationships on the horizon of developing, even with ourselves. The more you really truly love self, you're able to have high vibrational relationships with others. A lot of times our low vibrational relationships come because we truly don't love ourselves, Imagine not really trusting yourself. How can you trust a partner, right? I remember a time where I couldn't even trust myself because I just didn't make the best decision. So therefore I projected my insecurities onto my partner, right? So, pay attention to that. Something about knowledge, it's very important to make sure that you're willing to learn. Not that you're going around looking to read every book, not that you're trying to be the smartest in the room, but knowledge. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is power. Okay? Impatient. I feel like, my husband has been on me about this, and I'm so grateful that God sent me a partner that loves me so deeply, that he cares about me so much that he wants me to learn how to slow down. And I feel like this could be helpful to someone as well. I'm a fire. I'm a ball of fire, right? And you could be too. So as we go into the year of the horse, there's already a lot of passion. It's double fire already. Look at the fire dancing. Hey, right? So it's very important, to kind of harness yourself and your energy, and pay attention where you're allowing your energy to go, where it's escaping. Which way is your energy going? How do I feel at the end of the day? Okay, something like that. Okay, freedom. You are free. What did she say? That lady said that if she could be free for 1 minute, okay, Miss Elizabeth Freeman. If she could be free for 1 minute on God's earth, she would. So you better enjoy your minutes of freedom, my brother or my sister, okay? I don't know. Something about being optimistic, okay? A lot of us are so pessimistic, we can't see things a different way. Well, in order to really embrace this breakthrough, we got to see something different.
That's right. 2 of Cups to the 7 of Wands in reverse, Ace of Cups. That's right, right? I like this. That's right. Like, this is a relationship where defenses are down, vulnerability is significant, and you need that in order for your relationship to grow. I don't know why we come up, especially bros, not sissing them, but y'all too, but more or less broing them, right? We come up in a way where we think vulnerability in our relationship is a weakness. That's crazy. That's insanity, right? And that's one of the things that I'd be mad at the old ones that left us with that mentality.
Yeah.
Because inside your relationship is the place where vulnerability is supposed to exist. Mm-hmm. If not the most, right? And you got some of our leaders that say certain things, and I admire them. And Mike Tyson said that. He was like, the person I fear is my wife. And he was like, if a man don't fear his wife, he crazy. But he was speaking about a different fear, and that goes both ways, mm-hmm. right? If you in your relationship and you feel like vulnerability is a weakness, that means you got reservations. You have a hidden agenda. You might not be willing to admit it, but it's an agenda so that means that you're moving in your relationship with a hidden agenda. Why? Because you fear vulnerability. That's reservation. Do you get that? Yes. I was hurt last time, so this time I'm
gonna keep a little bit right here.
That's a reservation. So you only gonna get out of something what you put in it. Mm-hmm. And somehow you realize that. I like it because 7 of Wands is in reverse. So, and it's leading to 8 of Cups. It's breeding a higher understanding. Mm-hmm. What they say, love, what Method Man say, the highest bond between man, woman, and child, the highest elevation. Remember that song, you're all I need to get by. We lie together, cry together, you know what I mean? Yeah, that kind of energy. And you, I took one look at you. Shorty, I need you. Shorty, I'm there for you anytime you need me. Believe, girl, you in your world. Believe, nothing make a man feel better than a woman. Queen with a crown, I'd be down for whatever. All right, so, yeah, we got that kind of energy out here, right? Method Man and Mary energy. Whereas though, it's a relationship. Look at this 2 of Wands. This 2 of Wands is beautiful. Could be a biracial couple, right? Don't have to be, right? It could be 2 people from different backgrounds. When I see the black and white hand, 2 very diverse individuals, In situations like this, it's funny Because sometimes you may have, right? I'm saying the situation, so just bear with me. It doesn't have to be you. But you might have a woman that has all these credentials in life and all of that, but she really from the hood though. Like her father and them, her daddy and her mama and them, they really from the hood. But this woman got credentials, right? And then you got this one guy who was forced into a life of chaos and crime, but his mom, dad, and them, they from the Ivy League, right? So you got mixed, a diverse background where two people learning themselves in this. Because sometimes women that come from good backgrounds, women who, particularly these type of women, sometimes, right? And this can fit you, right? I'm just speaking my piece, so. Right. But nevertheless, imagine being a woman that's your father and your mommy, they from crime and chaos, but they decided to make a change and afford you a life where you never knew any of that about yourself, but it's still in you. It's gonna come out of you. And I feel like it's a relationship where that could be the case. You know, somebody figuring out they got a little more hood in their roots, right? And then vice versa, another person realizing, hey, maybe I come from spiritual royalty if nothing else, you know. But I feel an awareness in this Two of Cups, right? Also, it could be a same-sex relationship with the rainbow energy. It don't have to be, but it's in the cards, so it could be.
It's a very strong covenant.
It's something, but the Seven of Wands to the Eight of Cups is something that I would definitely advise you in this relationship. Definitely keep vulnerability on the table because that's an open conduit. You know, when two people are very sensitive to one another, that's a good place because that's when you locked in such a way where the person you with don't want to do nothing to hurt you because they know it will hurt them. That's a good connection. Mm-hmm. You know, that's respect and all that because and it's simply a connection. When it's real, it's like, I'm hungry. I know they hungry. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm gonna go out and get a watch. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get them a watch. It's that kind of energy, you know, when that vulnerability is there. It's not detachment. Because you ever been in a relationship when detachment grow, where somebody come back in the house, got food, look at you, sit down, eat in your face and all, and you look like, man, I know they know I was hungry. Yeah, you don't want that. That's when sensitivity is gone. Two people can't feel each other no more. I feel this is not the case. This right here is good energy. And Eight of Cups is two of Cups to the Eight of Cups, water sign energy. Seven of Wands in reverse. Could be two water signs. Doesn't have to be. But what I do see is just two people and you're growing together. The relationship is growing. Eight of Cups, you know, level to level. So keep that vulnerability consistent. Honesty and transparency. Because if you're in a relationship and you hiding parts of yourself from the person you with, you headed for failure. Yeah. You headed for failure. Mm-hmm. I'm just waking somebody up. Like, you can't work around what's in you. Like if you got hidden desires and, you know, you got different foolery inside of you and you figure like, well, I can just hide this from the whole wide world. You can't. Mm-hmm. Not when you're in a Two of Cups. Two of Cups is designed to expose that in you.
Mm-hmm. Mirroring.
Right. It's going to expose you to your counterpart. It's for your growth and development, but people don't take it like that. People don't like to be exposed. They don't like for a person to be able to say, oh, what's on your mind? Mm-hmm. This, that, and the third, huh? And be right. People are like, no, you don't know what's on my mind. Get on my head. But that's what the Two of Cups is all about. It's a mirror. Mm-hmm. You know how they say twin flame energy? Mm-hmm. You can't escape it. And the more you try, the more revealing it is. You know? That's why it's good to just recognize that that's what it is. Like, and you do. Seven of Wands in reverse. No defensive. That's good energy. That's like, you know what I feel like the Seven of Wands to the Two of Cups is? It reminds me of me and my wife the other day. I was all in my wife talking, you know, because I be thinking, I don't know who I be thinking I am. Sometimes I be crazy. I be like, because you know, you need to, because you know, I'm a little tiny bit older than her, so sometimes you know what she said to me? She said, "But hold up." It reminded me of Cat Williams on the show. Wait a minute, mother. Right? She said, "Hold up, because you be doing so and so and so and so, and you know you." And I was like, "You right, you right. I apologize." That's what 7 of Wands in reverse look like in a relationship. When your partner tell you that they can see the bullshit that, because you know I'm a Libra.
You gonna tell me
We
mine.
think we see everybody BS. But when your partner like, all right, now that we done described all mine, this is yours, right? You gotta be willing to be like, yeah, that's 7 of Wands, that allows growth.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, it allows growth.
Okay.
It's gonna allow growth in you on many levels, right? And it's easier. Yo, to surrender the 7 of Wands in reverse is easier in a relationship. Because when you on the defense in it, yo, it's almost like fighting yourself. It's almost, because you ever think about it, and then I'm gonna get out of here. But I don't know why I'm here, but you know how them relationships where they get to the point where you got two people, they on furlough in a relationship. One person in the other room, the other person in the other room.
Yeah,
but it become normal though. Yeah. Like, but look how much warfare. When you in that room, I know as a man, I've been in that situation. When you in that room, what happens when you really want something from the other person? Or you gotta sit out there and fight with yourself like, oh, man, I ain't asking for nothing. They wrong. Yo, it's such a war when you can just go into the 7 of Wands in reverse energy and be like, look, I'm not trying to live like this.
Especially if you really love.
You know? I'm not trying to live like this.
If you really love, it becomes an easier thing, you know, when you have an equal love.
Yeah, when you're striving for it, you know. You strive. When two people striving for anything, it's destined to work out in some type of way that's suitable. But when you striving all by yourself, we gotta start giving up on that, y'all. Like, cause if I'm going this way and you going that way, I'm just saying, like, I'm going this way, you going that way. And think about it in life, Divine, like, no sugarcoating shit. Like, if they going that way and you going this way, ain't nothing that can happen. God can't help you make it work. Much as God might want to, the Most High not designed to compromise like that. If your purpose is that way and they going that way, the more you, ain't no middle lane. Because if you stand in the middle trying to make it work, you holding up your progress.
Yeah.
Only way the thing is go that way. You gotta go that way and you gotta let them go that way. And trust me, if you go that way and your truth, if they meant to be, it's gonna pull them that way. But if you stand in the middle, you too weak to influence them. Yeah. Listen, gravity on the earth as we know it, the pull down is far more stronger.
Gravitational pull.
So negativity would be a downward gravitational pull. So if I'm standing in the middle place and my purpose is forward and I'm holding on something moving that way, my motion, even if they not strong enough to pull you that way, they strong enough to kill your motion moving forward.
And you're just totally out of alignment.
Real talk. Yeah, crossroad, definitely. Who that? Mama Rosa. Spiritually, exactly what I'm describing. She's right. That's exactly what it is. It's a crossroad.
So. Hey, y'all. Mama. Crossroad. A spiritual crossroad.
And you can be stranded there.
Okay.
Trying to hold on to people and things that's moving that way. Yeah. Because you ain't going, if you just say you do go that way, you will never fit in.
True.
Trust me. When God put a purpose on you, you have a mark on you.
But we know this because, you know, we've all tried to go that way and it didn't work.
It don't work.
You know, it caused delays, damage. You know, a lot of times we suffer at our own hand. You know, we do things that cause us suffering because we just did not want to.
I ain't get it.
You know how you feel the energy, you still go against it, right?
I kept going it, right? Until I was laying on the ground with an F&N gunshot wound through my whole body.
Yeah.
From my back through my front.
Yeah.
And you know what God said to me? Do you get it now, dummy? Do you understand, dummy, rummy? What I'm trying to tell you? I was on the ground like life leaving my body, but I learned the lesson like, okay, I get it now. If I don't get nothing else, I get now everything, I get it now, right? But what I'm saying is when God has a purpose for you, you don't have to put yourself through unnecessary trauma because you will, you know, you don't want to reach your purpose and be too wounded. You know what I mean? Like the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. We go through things. But because if God designs you for a purpose, that's going to be there for you.
Yeah.
That's going to save you.
You heard me?
But it still don't mean every cause got an effect. So if you beat yourself up too bad, by the time you get to your purpose, you going to be like, hey.
You don't walk.
Yeah,
God gave you
the harvest is over.
He done gave you the shoes and now you ain't got no soles on the bottom when you get there.
You done ran the thing down, right?
You done ran them down to the bottom.
So learn how to give up unnecessary hits. Like, if your purpose is pulling you that way, go with the flow.
Let go.
Let go. That's what that said.
Yeah.
Yeah, if your purpose is pulling you that way, thank you, Spirit. Let go. So you don't wear yourself thin. I ain't gonna lie, I'll be so sick of seeing divine beings stuck in situations with demons. You messing with a person that's a demon. You can't save them.
And it's
at
like,
all.
when are you gonna realize that it's a demon,
save
though?
them.
Like, you know, we think
when you a divine star seed type of energy, do you know you attract walking demons in the flesh?
Yes.
Walking energy vampires, demons, soulless beings, jinn. All of these words because that's what you attract into you.
And it's so real because it's funny. We walked into some of our friends yesterday and I had to tell them, like, you know, yesterday was a day where I walked right into a trap, you know. I walked right into a trap and, you know, I walked into a trap when I should have walked away. So, I don't know. When my husband was speaking, he said let go and walk away came out as well. There are some things that we just need to walk away from because you will be drawn in, right? And if you respond to things that you're drawn into, you are held accountable, just like I was, right? So I was drawn into something, and because I was drawn in, I now have to be held accountable for my own actions. And, you know, I felt really good to verbalize in public with friends that, you know, I was wrong yesterday because, you know, I should have walked away. I know better, right? And I want somebody to know, let it go, walk away. There are some things that you just need to walk away from. Like there doesn't need to be a discussion. There doesn't need to be animosity. There doesn't need to be any of that. It just needs to be you letting go and walking away, okay? Something about compassion is here. You can be a very compassionate individual. Okay? You can be asked to be kind to yourself right now for having to walk away from things, right? Sometimes it's hard to walk away from things and we're emotional beings, and right? So because we're spiritual beings having a human experience, a lot of times we're emotional because we don't know what to expect, right? We're trying to come back to have a remembrance. So compassion.
Yeah.
Be tender and kind to yourself. Okay?
Please.
Give yourself a break today, right? Stop speaking negatively over yourself, right? You're not broke. You're not broken, okay? You're not ugly, right? You are perfectly designed. You know, we were designed with intention.
Yeah, fearfully.
Every detail about us was intended to be there. Every crooked tooth I have, they were placed there purposely because that's how I was intended to be designed.
Wonderful.
Right? Wonderfully made. Okay? So compassion, be gentle with yourself, right? The world wants everything to look so perfect, but remember, we are not supposed to conform to the world, right?
It's crazy. We live in a world where people will change their opinion of you based upon the veneers in your mouth.
Uh-huh.
Like, We live in a world where a person can look at somebody one day and deem them ugly, and they get some veneers, and the next day they'll look at them veneers and be like, oh, they look so good.
Or a bust down, or
That's the world we live in.
You know, some spray on the edges or whatever. You know, that's the world we live in.
Such illusionment, right?
Very much so.
All right, I'm ready to get in somebody's business. You here, collective. So if you didn't want this to come out, you wouldn't be here.
Okay.
10 of Pentacles. That's abundance. That's good energy, ancestral inheritance, wealth. Now, 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles in reverse to the 3 of Cups. You giving away what you got to somebody who's giving it away to somebody else. Somebody in this energy, whether it's your money, whether it's your time, whether it's your love, your energy, your affection. But I'm telling you what I see. Somebody in the 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles in reverse to the 3 of Cups in reverse. You could literally be giving away what God gave you to somebody who is in turn giving it away to somebody else.
Energy harvesting.
Energy harvesting, money harvesting. I mean, I'm saying a lot of situations.
I heard money laundering.
You could be going to work, making your hard-earned money, and giving it to somebody who got the balls to run out and give it to somebody else. Your knowledge, your time. This is a situation that either happened to you or is happening with you. You could be going through it, or it may be familiar. But I'm going to tell you, there's no future in it. Nothing's going to, that goes back to what I just said. Like my wife said, we both said, you got to learn how to let certain things go. It's maturity. Like, if you're giving somebody something to keep them in a certain position, to the point where as though you willing to give them, knowing that they giving it to somebody else, you need to back out altogether and go get help. That's when help is needed. And it's people that allow themselves to be in that situation. That's not a good place for starseeds. You put too many people's life at risk. Your ancestors don't like that. God don't like that. If you're a person that holds 10 of Pentacles in your energy, and you allowing it to be given to people who not respecting it or giving it away to others to try to make themselves look like something that they not, you being called into accountability for it, first of all. That's going to be the first thing, because it's irresponsible of you to think that way. No, for real. Like, if somebody is with another person and your energy is the only thing that's keeping it going, right? Like, it could be sexual energy where you lay down with them and they leave, you feel depleted, but they feel so good that they're going to go hop around to the next person because you giving them the energy that's being siphoned from them. You putting it back in them, leaving yourself drained. Or it could be your money. You go to work, you get your check, or you allow them to hold your car. They take your car. Get with all of this. Just if you notice that somebody with a third party, now is the perfect time for you to develop the power, strength, and this is spiritual confirmation that it's now time to end that cycle, because it's going to end you if you don't. If you willfully giving your energy away to somebody who's willfully giving it to another person, first of all, you're helping to create a life. You're helping somebody get one up on you. So whoever it is, you need to stop this behavior.
You know, we don't realize that things happen. You know, we think things happen very slowly. Even when we're losing things, you know, it happens slowly. You ever been in a state of mind where you just felt yourself slipping, but it was happening slowly?
Slowly,
right?
Gradually.
You ever felt, you ever been drained, but it was slowly, right? So imagine if I was going to your bank account every day, but I was only taking $3, right? So if I was taking $3, but I've been doing this for 20 years, over time, it's really going to put a hurting on you, right? But it was only $3, but it, over time, it really puts a damper in you, right? So those are the kind of things we got to pay attention to.
I'm literally saying somebody at the dinner table they at the dinner table with their significant other, and the only thing they can think is about wrapping up the food to take it out the house to somebody else. Would you want to dine with that type of person? Think about it. As I'm asking you as a woman. Imagine you slave over the stove, make a great meal, right? And imagine I'm the type of man, this is what's in my heart. I'm going to smile in your face and all that, but I'm going to sit down. But I ain't even worried about whether I eat or you eat. Only thing I'm worried about is taking this and going to feed somebody else.
Yeah. Somebody could be taken from somebody's household.
Yo, it's people like that. And Spirit says today.
Yeah, it's the end of it,
Even if you don't end it today, let today be the first time you begin to think about the ending, because life is not, God didn't intend for you to be in that situation where you giving your resources so that somebody can go maintain a third party relationship.
That's like, imagine somebody saying they love you, right? But every day you come home, your freezer is just getting emptier and emptier, and they're taking it and they're filling somebody else's freezer with your food, and they don't care about whether you starve or eat or whatever, right? Because they're taking from you daily, right? That's the things that happen slowly, a little bit at a time, right? So you got to make sure that you know where your energy is going constantly.
Somebody could be noticing your food stamps being missing or your money. Either way, it's resources, right?
Your resources.
But somebody is willing, you with an energy that's willing to
compromise.
Take what you have and give it to somebody else. And if that's you, I just want you to know today we're going to speak against that. We come against the spirit of that, right? Because that's what happens to a lot of us in the collective. We be taken advantage of in so many ways, especially energetically. Big on the energetically. Like laying down with people, you do your fasting, you do your praying or whatever, you do your spiritual work. All that's meant to keep you. So don't throw it all away by laying down with somebody, because all you're going to do is make them healthy and make yourself sick.
Yeah.
Because you're the healer. Yeah. Think about it. If you're a healer,
you're a source of energy.
You have sexual healing. You have healing in every aspect of your being. So when you lay down with sick people, you heal them.
That's right.
And then you sick now. And if not physically, the spirit of sickness.
That's right.
Because a lot of sickness is spiritual first. So man, if somebody can lay down and get infected with a certain spirit, here they come, they feel down, their energy gone, their self-esteem low. They come to you, lay down with you power them up. Now you walk around feeling low self-esteem. Right? All your energy gone.
That siphoned all your energy, okay? So, it's very important to pay attention, where is my energy going throughout the day? That could be something you want to write down today or really pay close attention to today. Because we don't pay attention to those things. Like, where is my energy being spent every day, right?
That's right. There's some confirmation out here, too, Mama Rose, because look, you got to let go in your name. And look, it says let go.
Okay.
Right there. And she said, thanks for the confirmation.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that was a link right there. Yeah. Spirit could definitely be wanting you to move in a different way.
Yeah. And it's, sometimes it's not always people, Sometimes it's letting go of our old ways, our old habits, our old mindset,
Yeah.
A lot of times that is self-sabotage. We self-sabotage more often than people could attack us.
One time, sometime it's good to think of yourself as being far more valuable than you can ever imagine. I tell my daughter that now on a regular. You far more valuable. I tell her, be selective because you far more valuable than you ever can imagine.
Selective. Right? I love that.
The reason why I say that is because you are. See, we devalue ourselves because we're not valuable to our own self. So if you can't find value to just think of your knowledge as being valuable, I do that with myself. It helps me, I know what God gave me is valuable to other people, so I'm not going to shut it off. If you know that what God gave you is valuable to other people, you'll stop giving it away. You'll stop squandering it. whether it be your mind, time, or your sacral energy, sex, whatever it may be. You gotta realize you connected to the ethereal realms. You more valuable. You more valuable doing something constructive than throwing away your energy to people that's gonna laugh and joke about it. Then the thing about it, a demon, thank you, Spirit, a demon can't build nothing positive off divine energy anyhow. So all that's happening is you helping something stay alive. Because the minute you take your energy out of it, it's gonna crumble anyway.
It's gone.
A demon can't take nothing from, can't work like that. A demon can't take a starseed energy and go out here and build a life with a third party and you live heavy. No.
The goal is just to steal the life of the
Right.
starseed.
The starseed
is to
is
steal
the
the
link.
starseed's life, you know? Because
Once you pull your energy away,
destruction doesn't care about being light. Destruction has no care about being light. It's the only objective is to make sure that you are not light. Your light is stolen, right?
Right.
And I know this to be true because there's a light bulb here.
bing.
Hello? You could be having an aha moment. This could really be resonating deep in your spirit.
I know it is because I can
this is
feel
something
it.
that you already know. You have an ancient awareness and knowing of what's going on. But sometimes we just need iron sharpens iron.
And if you have the faith to move, you have even more powers that will step up with you. Like, because we speak with an ancestral rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Things respond to us when we speak
Yes.
in people's lives. If you can find the courage to move a different way, you'll find other powers that'll come up and they'll be get to smacking shit down for you.
Okay.
It'll be more easier. Like, you know, sometimes God tell you let go of one person, give you another person. Bam! You be like, that happened so damn fast. No, it happened in God time.
Okay.
God knew what you need.
Divine.
You know, but God can't bring in what you need when you holding on
To what
for
you
what you
want.
don't need. You don't need that shit.
To what
right?
you want.
Whatever it is, you don't need it. When God say, once you let it go, blow your mind, right? And yeah, the world might be like, man, how you meet somebody so quick? Or they say all of it, but when God sent it in, it don't matter.
God in there.
God in there.
God in
like the
there.
old his God in there. It's a lot of shit we owed anyway. So it's a matter of you. It's imperative that you make a decision now to stop giving to what's going that way and at least get on that way.
Imagine if the Native Americans didn't have a remembrance of who they were. They would have never gotten their land.
Even bigger, if the Native American, the indigenous, the indigenous people, right? I'm talking about the ones that was here before the slaves even got here, before anybody got here, it was already indigenous people here. Copper tone, indigenous. Imagine if they didn't remember. We wouldn't remember. Now, as simple as that. What we doing right now, all this is passing memory. They speak about, they got tarot cards, this memory. I bet you I could pull a gram. Anybody connected to the station right now that's here, that haven't left, if you sit down with me, I bet you we can find a grandmother or a grandfather that can tell you all about these right here. Trust me. This is ancestral energy. It ain't about the tarot card. It's about the energy that you tapping into. See, our ancestors, they knew this shit that they give us is programming. That's why their spirits was king. That's what the aim is to kill your spirit, take your originality. How you gonna hold a land?
You know why? Because life is of the spirit. That's why they want to kill your spirit, right?
And for us, I'm gonna say this, thank you, Spirit, this coming from a deeper place, right? Study both histories, black and indigenous. Because everybody don't date back to Africa.
Mm-mm.
You understand? And this is for my American people, Asiatic descendants, black, original. Listen, I see all the celebrities running to Africa. I have questions about it. Because you mean to tell me all y'all from Africa? Ain't nobody from over here? But that's what they do because they don't want. How can you claim a land or the power on your land when you trying to run across the water and claim the power? In other words, you got people reaching for the Orisha, but their power is really with the indigenous. Mm-hmm. You understand? But until we really get to learn what's at work, we always easily move. I can throw you over there. Oh yeah, send me your DNA. I'ma sample it and I'ma tell you that your family, your lineage is in Ghana.
Okay.
That might be true. You related to Ghana. But indigenous ancestral dates back further than slavery. And the indigenous people are the ones who are the landowners of America. See, when people came to America, the first thing that they realized is we can occupy this land, but we can't take it because it's spiritual. The only thing we could do is run tricks on this land because it's the spirits on this land. The forefathers of this nation, they knew that. They knew that this land was spiritual. Why do you think they did all these treaties from Tahiti? They did everything to trick you out of what originally belonged to you. But now, like I was telling my wife, it's some old sounds on, it's some old voices on this wind. Ancestral ancestors, old people.
The ancestors in my energy.
The ones that's indigenous to this land, the archaic ones. I hear their voices now. And they speak of a power that you inherit once you tap into your indigenous ancestry. It's not all about, yeah, we related to overseas. I got family from Haiti. So, you know, I know that we call, but it's shit that's owed us over here on this land that been owed to you. And you need to walk in the totality of yourself.
Come on.
I call them indigenous Africans, the forgotten men. All right, y'all. Well, chopping it up with y'all, shedding a little bit of knowledge.
Time for breakfast. Oh, it's brunch, I guess.
Brunch time.
We love you guys.
Don't y'all want to treat us to some brunch?
Okay, yes. If you guys want to
brunch on y'all today,
help us with some brunch. We would love that because that's exactly what we about to do. Okay. Anyway, if you would like to be a blessing to our channel, all of our information is on the page, okay? If you would like to book a personal reading with us, remember everything is free. We just ask for a donation for our time because, you know, our time is valuable, right? But if you would like to get with us, you know how to reach us, okay? Pause and take a break at some point today.
Bluetooth connected.
Okay. We hope you guys enjoyed the message. And that was your message. Hey. Accept or reject it. Hey. And keep your spirit protected. Hey. That was your message. Hey. Hold up. Hey, we had a message. Okay. Hope to see you guys again. Okay. If you enjoyed our video and it was your first time, subscribe to the channel so that you are notified when we go live. Okay.